Hello everybody, in today's video I will be talking about how Silverwolf is likely going to be fine. Sorry if you hear a little bit of background noise. I have my window open because it's hot as shit over here, right? I don't own an AC, as unfortunate as that is. And it started pouring down as well, right? So, Silverwolf is going to be fine. The reason I want to make this video is because with the recent beta of Himiko, people are noticing that she is the strongest DPS in the game and it's not even close. However, what makes it so much more impressive for Himiko is the fact that currently her strongest team in the game has two free-to-play units using RMC and as well as Welt. And on top of this, she also has quite a nice E0 to E2 jump on the same level as Everknights and Phenons, meaning her potential is crazy, right? Just like Megumi from Jujutsu Kaisen, just like Chisa from Wuthering Waves, you can see what this character could possibly do in the future if they were to get a little more love. And so with this, of course, people who are really into the meta of this game, they're getting jealous of Himiko and even slightly worried that maybe the character they invested into won't be as strong as Himiko, right? And obviously, the most popular fan base of character here is Silverwolf, as she is the anniversary main push, and many people have pulled her in anticipation that she would be like a Cassie Mono Rem situation, right? Now, here's where I'm going to say, I don't know if Silverwolf will necessarily be stronger than Himiko. However, by the end of everything, it'll likely be close, and I imagine Silverwolf will have her own advantages, while Himiko will remain being better at lower costs, simply because of the way her kit works. In reality, this is very basically similar to Phenon versus Cassie, where Phenon has been the better low-cost zero cycler for over a year at this point. However, Cassie has had the overall better team at copious levels of investment, may I add, but a lot of people have glazed Mono Rem for that. The same thing would apply to Silverwolf. The thing with Himiko is that she's at max leaked to possibly get one new after sales. Right? Mortis has leaked that he believes Himiko will get a new best-in-slot teammate. However, it's not in 4.6, meaning it's like somewhere later, and it's not a character that I think we're aware of yet. And he specified one character, he didn't say anyone else, meaning it is likely that Himiko's best-in-slot team is going to end up being Nova Sunday alongside this new character, and that's it. Now, if Sunday's E1 gets a rework, that'll definitely be a huge boost towards Himiko's team verticals. However, that's probably going to be the only notable eidolon unless they vastly change something about Sunday's E2 to make it much more valuable. And of course, the rest of the team's good vertical investment would be left to Himiko herself, and as well as the third slot support in this case, right? However, this does not apply to Silverwolf. Silverwolf's E0 to E2 jump is quite sizable and even increases the damage dealt by everybody on her team and extends her own buffs by one turn, allowing things like Certified Banger and other buffs given to her to last longer. However, not only this, you also have Yao Guang's E0 to E2 jump, which are both highly synergistic with Silverwolf as well. However, not only this, Sparksy's E0 to E2 jump is also highly synergistic with Silverwolf as well. You kind of see the point where I'm getting at and why I made the comparison of Phenon and Cassie here. Phenon is incredibly similar to Himiko, where he's probably going to have one specific best in slot who has maybe some good early eidolon investment. However, it's not going to be on the level of a Mono Rem team, which is what Silverwolf is really shaping up to be currently, right? And a lot of people are talking about how much stronger Himiko is. However, they don't exactly realize just how easy it would be to buff Silverwolf to Himiko damage levels. And the easiest solution to this is a inhalation speed support sustain. Now, I've already talked about this before. People always get on here saying, oh, it's impossible for a sustain to be that much of an upgrade for a team. However, people are missing some specific details. For one, unlike any other path in the game, Elation is the only one where there are inherent benefits from just being paired with another person who's the same path as you. Remembrance doesn't have this, no other path has this, it's only Elation. The reason for this is that other Elation units are able to passively generate punchline with their own moves, and they also have their own Elation skills, which are used for generating further resources for a team. Currently, Silverwolf can sometimes struggle outside of Shill to hit 240 MMR every single ult, which is the main selling point of her E2. Once she is able to get that, and that would be probably finished with a full Elation team, then it'll be much stronger of an E2, and she'd also be able to compete with the likes likely of Himiko. However, not only this, a speed buffer is very important here. Everybody knows that Silverwolf got changed to speed scaling mid-beta, and now it's not all too crazy to say that an E0S1 Silverwolf can hit 200 speed, right? 200 speed is a pretty nice breakpoint because it allows someone to get 3 turns in a 0 cycle. However, something else a lot of people are missing is the fact that there are things like Yao Guang's E2 that exists, and if they were to make a speed support for Silverwolf, Silverwolf may even possibly be able to get 4 turns in a 0 cycle. The speed breakpoint for this would be basically 267. So if she gets an Elation speed support, even ignoring all the inherent benefits of being Elation on an Elation team, the better punchline gen, maybe something related to certified banger, you have tailored verticals, you have your own damage output, Elation skills, right? Not including any of that, Silverwolf getting a speed support may allow her to be able to get 4 turns in a 0 cycle, and this speed support wouldn't only apply to Silverwolf herself, however likely the entire team, meaning Yao Guang would also be significantly faster, and that might be the difference between getting an extra ult in a 0 cycle. However, not only this, you'd also make Aha Instant faster, and it might be possible to make Aha Instant act 1 more time in a cycle. And once again, this is without including absolutely everything else that a dedicated speed support for Silverwolf's team may be able to provide. Silverwolf, alongside all these speed increases, as well gets Elation percent increased the more she overcaps on her speed. So it's not like she's only benefiting from this extra turn, or her team is only benefiting from extra Aha Instants, or just more reliability and punchline gen. There's also the fact that she is massively increasing her Elation percent with this, which would make her damage numbers significantly higher than they currently are, right? I hope you guys have kind of been able to get a picture of what it is I'm trying to paint here. It is not difficult to make a dedicated last support who's a speed support for Silverwolf's team and make her catch up, if not be slightly stronger than Himiko in certain case scenarios. Now, once again, I think Himiko will be the better low-cost 0 cycler just because of the nature of her kit and the teams that she wants. However, I think Silverwolf will be the quote-unquote strongest team in the game, the same way Mono Rem was, where once you actually start getting high vertical investments kicking in, they will likely be the strongest team in the entirety of the game, even in comparison to Himiko. It's just way, way too easy to buff Silverwolf, because once again, this doesn't include any buffs, right? Like, Hyacine has massive max HP scaling buffs, and on top of this, she regens healing like crazy in order to be a best in slot for Cassie. If they make this niche Elation sustain just as good as Hyacine, and then also include all the Elation gimmicks plus speed supporting, plus you also have tailored vertical investment for this Silverwolf team, she would 100% be able to hold her own, and I don't see any world where Silverwolf would fall that far under a Himiko or any of the future main DPSs. felt like making a video like this, once again, because there's just a lot of doom posting going on around Silverwolf right now, and I felt like this video might help people who have invested into Silverwolf understand that it's not likely that Himiko is going to be this astronomically better DPS than everybody else released so far, and she's going to have no competition, including the anniversary main push, right? I've already gone through this before with Cassie, where Cassie was getting some insane amounts of doom posting when she first released in 3.2, and I received some backlash back then because people were comparing her to Acheron constantly, being like, Acheron didn't need any best in slot supports to power creep. Doesn't it mean that if Cassie needs Hyacine, that she's way weaker as an Annie main push than Acheron? And just look at how badly those takes aged. I'm pretty sure I'll probably receive backlash for this take as well, and people will say, oh, how do you know this character is going to be a speed support? How do you know they're going to be this strong? People need to understand it's not about me actually having the facts right in front of my face. It's about pattern recognition, and my pattern recognition has shown this game will never stop shilling their Annie main pushes. No matter how weak they may look on debut, they always become exponentially stronger near the end of the version, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you all have a great night. Peace out.